fighting, is it healthy or is it not? And is there a right way to do it? Tonight we're going to give you how many?
Well, I believe we're going to go over 8. 8 successful things that couples do differently during arguments.
I'm going to title it 8 Things Men Need to Do Differently to just
No.
bow down and accept that we're always wrong.
No, that's not true. I mean, I think it's safe to say that all couples argue, have disagreements. It's actually healthy, I think, you can't always agree with one another. So
I'm going to agree, but I'm going to throw this out there. There's nothing healthy about arguing with an Italian Gemini.
No.
Literally nothing healthy about it. I have a knife under my pillow and it's my own protection. So we have very distinct and different arguing styles.
Yeah, definitely.
So I grew up very angry, aggravated. I did an episode about my past. So I tend to now just shut down. I don't talk. I literally just want to sit in silence and let it pass.
Yeah.
But Hurricane Brianna here likes to... What do you like to do?
I like to talk about it. I like to get it out in the open, discuss it, talk about it, either apologize if I'm in the wrong, you apologize.
That never happens.
And then just move on because it's not worth it. Because in the end...
She's always right.
No, it's just I don't like wasting time. Especially don't like going to bed angry. I hate that.
Yeah, she still manages to scream in her sleep for some reason. The other night we were sleeping and I was... All right, I'm going to go off topic just for a second. I need to tell this story. Steven, you going to put a movie on in bed? Yes. I put a movie on in bed. The volume's very low. 30 seconds after laying in bed. Could you lower that? What the hell do you want the sound for in the first place?
I just like the soft background noise. I like the light.
I said, so I'll sing to you and we'll just keep the lights on. So you see what I mean? You can't win an argument with an Italian Gemini, but that's beside the point. So I just shut down. I need my time to just cool down and just let it pass. And it usually does in like 15, 20 minutes. So I'll just go sit in front of the TV and zone out. And what Hulk Hogan here does is she comes over and she gets right in my face and she'll start to demand.
Not immediately. It's not immediate.
Oh, it's immediate.
No,
and
it's
she'll
not.
demand that I need to talk to her. And then I'll turn the volume up because I just want to focus on something other than what I'm aggravated with. She'll come over and take the batteries out of the remote. She's like, nope, we're doing this right now. So if that's a style, you got it.
No, because we just need to find that.
I'm wrong. And I know that. I shouldn't do that. We should just talk through it and move on.
Well, this ties into the episode that we just had about, if you have something happens early in your day that is, upsetting or is not planned, you don't let that one little aggravating moment mess up the rest of your day. So why would we let this one little aggravating argument mess up or waste time? Let's just talk about it. Let's figure out.
You make such a valid point. I don't want to argue about it. So I'm guilty of number one.
Number one is they don't run from fights.
I always run from a fight. I have very athletic little legs.
I curl up in a ball in the fetal position.
But again, we just have different processes. So the goal here is to come up with a mutual understanding.
Yep.
To just tackle it head on at that moment, at the time, get it over with. And I honestly can't tell you the last time we had a fight that carried over to the next day.
No, never.
I was too afraid to bring it up the next day.
No.
All right.
Number two is they start slow and take turns talking.
That's also how I initiate sex.
It's so true, though. You need to give each other a chance. You have to be able to communicate and each have a chance to say your side or your piece of what's going on. Right?
I speak very softly and from a safe distance. Go ahead.
Number three is they don't name call.
I never say her name in vain. Is that what that means?
No.
The Lord?
It's true. Don't say something that you're going to eventually regret. I mean, I just can't. I don't know. I just don't believe in that. I don't like
I'm
that.
embarrassed to say that I was told when I was younger that my words hurt more than my fists. Mm-hmm. It's not saying much for my fists. But it's true. It's unfortunate. The sting from a punch goes away a lot faster than something you say to somebody. Because if you're vocalizing it, that means it already existed in your head and you've thought about it before. Like it's something you've put thought into.
Yeah.
And that could be a lot more damaging than just punching somebody in the face or whatever.
Let's also let's let everyone know that disclosure here that nobody's punching anybody in the face. Like,
no, of course not.
no.
Number 4.
Number 4 is they know how to cool down.
Makeup sex. That's my preference. That's always my go-to.
I have nothing to say to
You don't know how to cool down?
No, I know how to cool down, but you caught me off guard there.
All right, so I win. I won an argument. Number 5.
Number 5 is they set ground rules for arguments.
Do we have ground rules?
Let's see. So again, this goes into, couples with like the low blows, name calling, saying things you may regret. Basically just
my suggestion would be is if you tend to argue a lot, it should never get to the point where anyone's raising their voice. Obviously, you don't want any kind of physical interactions. I would suggest if something's upsetting you, don't let it build up. Don't let it fester. Get it out in the open. Talk about it. Address it. Hey, what you said earlier really bothered me, or vice versa, whatever. Just get it off your chest. The second you start to hold on to things, it just builds and ruminates, and it's going to grow into something it doesn't need to be.
Right.
So just, number 5, get it all on the table.
Mm-hmm. Number 6 is they acknowledge each other's feelings and points of view, which I think is very important.
No, I think you have to, but that's where I struggle. I don't acknowledge anything. I literally just shut down when I get mad.
Yeah. You do.
It's weird. I don't know why, but I used to just lash out, and so I think I've just trained my brain to just do the exact opposite of what I used to do.
But I think I think it's very common. I think a lot of men handle things that same way. They just need their time to just, I know people, women, we talk, and that's kind of typical for husbands or significant others that are males that would do that. They just kind of
Go
shut
back
down.
to number 5 for a second. I want to see something. So number 5 is they set ground rules for arguments. So I think 5 and 6 should work in tandem with each other. So set ground rules. It's actually not a bad idea because you've already laid out like, okay, we're fighting, somebody's upset. So
it's like have a safe word.
Foliage. What was it from? Spumoni.
Yeah.
So I would just say, put together like 3 steps. I'm upset. Let me say what I need to say, and please respect my point of view, and then vice versa, and go on from there. So 5 and 6, obviously these all build off each other, but I would say, yeah, I know how I would feel if somebody else was attacking you verbally, and making you feel bad. I have no right to do the same thing. So
right.
Just look at it that way. If you're gonna say something to insult your wife or husband, how would you feel if a stranger was doing it? You know what I mean? So you kind of pull your emotions into it at that point.
Mama Bear comes out. Nobody's going to disrespect Stevie.
SJ.
All right.
Number 7.
Number 7 is they give each other the benefit of the doubt. So, I think
the common denominator here is just you have a plan so your arguments never really become arguments. It should be a conversation, not an argument. If you're arguing, then you're not obviously doing any of these things. No. So I would say just respect one another, respect their opinions or points of view, and just know that as upset as you are, your words could do the same damage to somebody else. Just have a game plan. I did an episode. We're going to do an episode about this, about literally planning out for everything and having a mental strategy in place for everything. Mm-hmm. So,
number 8 is they never forget that ultimately they're on their team.
They are a team.
He's on my team.
Yes. So I'll put it this way. So our daily routine, our schedule is based on each of us assuming and completing all of our own responsibilities. Mm-hmm. So I don't know about you, but I'm angry, or if we're arguing or anything like that, I don't want to do shit. I don't want to do anything.
No, it sucks the life out of me. Like, I don't want to do anything.
So at that point, that emotion, that argument is now going to bleed into your productivity for the rest of that day, the next morning, and it's going to affect you at work.
And again, if we went back to, I think it was number 1 on the list, just talking about it right then and there, we could be over it and both be back to our normal routines.
It's funny too, when you're with somebody long enough, like I know when I say something how she's going to receive it, and then like her face changes and like it just gets quiet. I notice the head snaps a little bit harder, like, and I could tell I've hit a nerve. And then what do when I know I've done something wrong, like with the chairs last week? I get mad at myself because I made you, or I did something that affects the both of us, and then I go into a shell. I turtle.
Yeah, he does.
I get mad at myself, and then I take it out on everything around me for some reason.
And again, he shuts down and just is silent, which I mean, I know everybody has to have their own process, and I shouldn't, I know I'm saying it now, but if that's what you need to do.
Yours is more therapeutic. Mine is, I know how I get when I allow myself to lose my temper. I just don't want to feel that way.
It's just that it happens so infrequently with us that when it does happen, it's just like I just don't want to waste time even being in that situation. I just want to move on.
Don't forget to give us one of those at the end of the video.
Please.
So there's only eight things on this list, but I'm going to add number 9, and you goddamn better agree with this. And if anyone agrees or disagrees, please leave a comment on the video below. Number 9 should be, there is no sex like makeup sex. Right? You can say yes.
Yes. I
just got my first like. All right, so that's it. That's all we're covering.
That's it for today, yeah.
So just don't fight. And if you do, be a goddamn adult about it.
Yes.
All right? Have a strategy in place, respect each other's feelings, and don't say shit you know you're going to regret.
Right. Yep.
Just be perfect like us. I know it's hard. Just be awesome. I don't know what else to tell you. All right, so Steve, Brianna from the Bardi Shop, from our Bardi to yours, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Talk to you tomorrow.